how to set up a document and get on layering your work in Photopea. So the first step would be File, New, and then here we're just going to call it Poster 1. The width needs to be 297 millimeters and the height needs to be 420. Here on DPI we need to have 300. So those numbers are really important. That's going to give us an A3 size poster, and it's going to have enough definition for us to be able to print it as well and for it to look good. The background, can we keep it white please, and just click create. So now you have your document here in Photopea. I just want to go and open some of my documents on here too. So here you can see I've got my folder. So I'm going to drop this on here, cancel, and come back on here, and now I've got my backgrounds on there. So here I'm going to enlarge my background. So if you click your shift key and pull those little handles in the corner to get this background bigger. Okay, just put in place where you want it. It still needs to be a bit bigger, and because we are working online, sometimes it's lagging slightly. Right, now I'm going to drag a different file. I've decided on here that I want my writing and maybe my ink and stick drawing. So I've got my ink and stick drawing here. Just pop it on there. Okay, so you can rotate it to put it in the right position. So you can go edit, transform, scale. Okay, then I'm going to go and click multiply. So I'm left with my line drawing showing on there. I think because my background is quite dark, I'm going to want to keep some of the white as well. I'm just going to duplicate this layer. So if you drag it over this little folded sheet on here, it's going to duplicate your layer. The top one, I'm just going to do it on normal. And then select my magic wand here, magic wand, to select my white background. So let's go back, magic wand. It's selected my white background. I'm going to delete this white background. So you must rasterize the object first. That means clicking the eraser, clicking on here. Do you want to rasterize? Okay. So then if you repeat this magic wand, and it has deleted your background. Okay. You might want to go back with the eraser, select, deselect, and get some of those. You can change your eraser size on here to make it bigger and erase some of the marks that you don't want anymore that haven't been deleted on here. Okay, so here I don't want to keep it quite that wide, so I'm going to pull it underneath and do this layer underneath slightly transparent. So I'm going to put the opacity 50%. Maybe a bit less. Okay, so we now got our character and just slightly blending here in the background. So I'm going to start pulling some of the things on here. I want a different character showing on there. I think I want to pull that one in, my pencil drawing on here. So if I delete the collage on top, I'm going to select that collage here, bin it. Okay. Go back to the pencil drawing, and we've got the same multiply, and I can have it here in the background. So I'm going to go edit, transform, and scale. Let's rotate it first. You can right click as well to access that menu on here. So rotate, and then transform, scale. More want them to look almost like a couple of friends talking and having a chat on here. So I'm going to do the same process on here, having a really quite dark background. It's overwhelming a little bit, so select, so I want to do that one underneath as normal, and then I'm going to select the background and wipe that down. So select, delete, and get the selection between the legs as well, delete that too. So then we have this one in multiply and this one, let's put a 50. I think that needs to be a bit higher, so 70. Right, I'm quite happy with this one at 70 on here. Then I want to move my, let's put my 2 layers with the other character together. I'm going to get my shift key, select them both together so I can get my move tool and move them about on here. Okay, I want to have them slightly a little bit more down there. All right, I might also decide to have my background just a little bit more. No, I don't like that. 90, 70. I think we're going to keep it to 90, or maybe even to 100. I don't like it like that. So it's a little bit of trial and error, seeing what you like and what you don't like as well. So going back here, I'm going to drag my writing in now. I want that writing to take the whole background. So I'm going to go edit, transform, scale, and pull this background here, so we've got that nice scribbly text all over the background. So here I want now to experiment with filters, see what I can create. That, so I've got overlay. I quite like this actually because it's kind of lightening my background too, and making it a little bit different. Vivid light, you could have the writing in color. So just experimenting here. The exclusion one's quite interesting actually, creating quite a nice filter on there. I'm just having a go with quite a few of them to see the one I like best. Okay, so I'm really, I think, looking between divide. Yeah, I quite like the divide when we had the writing in white. I also quite like multiply. Or color burn. So I'm going to go for divide, just tone it down slightly. Okay, 50 is a bit too light. I'm going to go for 80. All right, on there. I quite like the patterns in the background. Somehow I think it's not quite working. Yeah. So I'm going to try to change some of the settings on some of the characters as well, to see what that can do for me. Color burns, linear burn. So it's a matter really of trying some of these different settings and see what they can do for you. Right, I'm not sure about any of those, so I think what I'm going to do is bring in the characters again and duplicate some of those. So I'm going to duplicate this one and try to bring it in maybe in a different way. So edit, rotate, actually quite like that overlay, but I want to move my character to maybe get the overlay across both of these. So I'm going to go edit, transform, scale to make that bigger. So get my shift key so I don't have distortion on there. And click the return key, and I can see my work starting to develop on here. I feel that I could do with some sort of kind of bigger title or something like that on there too. I'm not sure here how to develop it at this point in time. So I'm going to go back in my folder, see what sort of images I've got in here again. So I've got the writing. I've got two of the writing, they're all the same. Okay. And then I've got my coloured backgrounds. I quite like that background at the top. I might try to change my background. I think it works quite well with this new background, so I'm going to delete and just keep the old one in case it's something that I want to go back to and try different experiments. I don't like this sharp edge on here on this one, so I'm going to go on there, select my eraser tool, opacity, I'm going to take the opacity down to 50. What brush? I've got a brush, flow, smooth, that should be okay. I want a fuzzy brush, so I'm going to select this slightly more fuzzy. Okay, I want quite a big eraser, so I'm going to put the size up on here. I'm going to go here and just rub out this line. So you can see we don't lose all the white, but we lose that sharp edge on here. So it kind of blends in our drawing a lot more. Now I just feel that it's missing something slightly here at the bottom. So I'm just going to go and add this. Take a copy of my collage, drag that on. Oh, wrong picture. So bin to delete, file, open. So edit, transform, I want to rotate it slightly. And I feel flip. I want it facing the other way. So it's kind of facing his twin on there. Okay. So you could have it as a collarbone down here. I quite like how that looks. I think that divide is quite nice. So here you can see a bit more close-up detail on there. Okay. To line those up carefully. This one's lined up too. I think we've got some pretty good effects, and that's quite good overall. You can see the effects down here, and the drawing, the writing on there. It might be that ultimately I decide to reframe it in a slightly different way. But when you start looking close up, you just get a little bit more idea what it looks like. I think I would like, so which one is it? This one, to be maybe slightly more see-through. So you can see a little bit more of the background behind. Okay, so I'm going to go back to fitting page, double click the hand on here. You should bring it to fit in the page. If it doesn't, just use the magnifying glass tool and then your hand to bring it in here. But I think here I've got a composition that I'm quite happy with. As you can see, the software is lagging slightly depending how your broadband's going on. My broadband at school is not perfect here, but I've got my picture on here. So now you can put file, save as PSD, okay, and click that. Take a little bit while, it should download a file for you, the PSD file all saved for you. So we can use that file to print from. Okay. So now you've got my file down in here at the bottom. So that would be in the download part of your computer. So then you can go and copy it and save it, so you can share it with me. Okay. The second thing I want to do is file, export as. We want to export it as a JPEG as well. Okay, high quality, so we're going to go all the way for the quality and save. So now here we've got two files. On here I would go into my downloads area, find the two files. Here at the top I've got poster 1 JPEG and poster 1 PDF. So I'm going to control, copy, and I'm going to copy them on my folder to save them for later. So that's it for your Photopea demonstration. As a starter, I hope it can get you started with that and playing about with the software. Thank you.